Absolutely. Interview fashion. Let's talk about it. Well, actually, let's listen because honestly, I know absolutely nothing about the fashion industry because my closet is just 90% black shirts. So I reached out to Brittany to see what her advice would be for women who are about to go on an interview. Welcome to Declassified College. And this week, we uncover how to dress for your big interview, Women Edition.
Choose your fighter. Fight.
I'm Justin Wynn, and in each episode, we will unlock a cheat code to help you navigate college so that by the time you walk across that stage, shake your president's hand, and grab your diploma, you have a job. College is a game. If you don't learn how to play it, it's gonna play you. Brittany's been in fashion for 10 plus years. She's had her work shown in the New York Fashion Week and so much more. So she definitely knows a lot more about fashion than I do. And the unique thing about Brittany is that when she was in school, she actually worked in the career services office. So she got to see all of the great outfits, but also the bad ones.
One of the biggest mistakes that a lot of young women make when it comes to their interview attire is not dressing for your body type. The one thing about being a woman is that we have so many options when it comes to getting dressed. And I think what's even worse is that sometimes we don't know when to let things go. And so I think that the overall thing is just you don't want to be distracting. You don't want anything that you're wearing to distract from your actual skill set and the conversation that you're actually having with the recruiter. And so if something is way too fitted, that's distracting. There's resources out there for you to understand your body type and make sure that you're wearing things that aren't too tight, okay? And that seems to be the theme, like one of the most offenders is just clothing that's way too tight. Also, if clothing is too big, that's not as distracting, but you want to make sure that when you're dressing professionally that you have nice tailored clothes. And that doesn't mean that you need to, have a relationship with a seamstress, but just purchase clothes that fit. And there are several options to buy clothing that, don't break the bank.
All right, so that was mainly about the tops, but what about the bottoms?
The other thing is the short skirts. Typically, the rule of thumb has been you want to make sure that you're wearing anything that's fingertip length, okay? Try to stay as close to that as possible. I kid you not, so many young girls come into interviews with the tight shirts, the low cut tops, and the short skirts, and it's like, what job are you applying for? Be mindful of the job that you're applying for and just put your best foot forward. I also say too, even with interviews, even if you're applying for like a sports company, for example, always just be professional, dress up, and it doesn't hurt to be overdressed as well.
An easy way to figure out what's appropriate is honestly just ask. You can ask your point of contact for the interview, or you can always find someone on LinkedIn and ask them about how their interview process went. You honestly never know. They may even give you a few tricks to take into the interview. Now, with interviewing comes different industries, and different industries means different standards. So what if you're going for more of a conservative industry?
If you are applying to a more conservative industry, whether it be accounting, whether it be consulting, any of the big four companies, I've typically seen a lot of students wear suits, so a blazer and either a skirt or, pair of pants set with darker colors. So typically black, navy blue, gray, and like a white blouse or a button-down shirt.
What about if you're going into a more casual industry like tech?
Now, if you are applying to a more laid-back type of tech field, you can lose the blazer, do either like a button-down shirt or a nice blouse or just like a pair of slacks or a skirt, which will be completely fine. Even, I don't think heels are necessary at that point. You can even do like a nice loafer, but still something that's professional.
Lastly, what about all of the creatives who listen to the show?
If you are interviewing for more creative industries, and I know with a lot of creatives, we enjoy seeing your personality. To a certain extent, especially if you're applying to the fashion industry, your clothing is an extension of who you are, And so if you're able to show some of that, show some of your personality through your clothing, that would be great. So what I mean by that is go for a color. Okay, be bold. Why not? Obviously do your research, read the background, but why, I wouldn't mind a print, on a blazer. I wouldn't mind some bold colors. Just make sure that you're matching and that there is some sort of cohesion in your garment. But I think it's okay to be a little bit bold, but I wouldn't go too far in the silhouettes in terms of like big balloon sleeves. And again, we don't want to be distracting, but for sure, for creative, go bold and show your personality through your clothing.
Okay, dope. So we know what to wear, but where do you go to buy it? Because college is already expensive. I don't have that much money. You don't have that much money. So where do we go if we don't want to drop $1,000 to go buy a suit?
I highly suggest that you check out Prologue at Target, okay? Target is known to be very budget friendly, especially when it comes to college students. I'm at Target like every weekend, to be honest. But they recently, over the years have been focusing on more fashion forward brands and recently released, actually, I'm not sure how recent it is. I just recently discovered this new brand, but it's called Prologue, and it targets like young professional women. And so I think that is the perfect brand for this episode here for what we're talking about. So highly suggest that you visit your nearest Target and look for that Prologue brand. Also look online as well, because they're amazing.
Who doesn't love Target? And I'm with Brittany here because honestly, I'm there like every weekend as well. But where else can people look for clothes?
Check out the thrift store or your nearest consignment shop. You'll be so surprised some of the good finds that you can discover at these stores, okay? Like thrifting is actually very popular, and I went to the thrift store recently and got a really nice suit, okay? A lot of times you can find some good high quality name brand items at the thrift store, so don't be afraid to just go look. After you find what you like, take it to the dry cleaner so you can feel good about it and utilize that and even tailor it if you can.
To wrap everything up, do your research and make sure that your clothes is right for the industry that you're looking to break into. Shop at Target and never discount your local thrift store or consignment shop. I think Brittany honestly covered everything, so that's about it. I'm out. You're a beast for making it all the way to the end. Hope that you start using that cheat code that you learned today. All of our socials, websites, and newsletters are going to be linked below. So if you want to stay up to date on us or possibly be featured on an episode, check those out. But if you're going to do one thing, definitely hit that subscribe, follow, or whatever the button is labeled on your favorite podcasting platform to get these cheat codes 3 times a week. Until next time, peace.
Knockout. You win.